Hey guys.
Hello.
So as you know, lately we've been working on the golden sample, and Manel has been doing some really cool videos explaining all that's going on. So just to go straight to the point, there's going to be delays on the shipment of basically every race, and that's because of the complexity of the process and because there are so many variables that just went wrong. Okay, so there's many variables and a few things went right and we're moving forward with this, but there's many others that are still not solved. Okay, and the thing with this is that it's not like, okay, we know that in 1 week this is fixed. It's more like an iterative process where we're going to be fixing part by part until this golden sample is perfect. And when it's perfect, then we're ready to go to the next phase, that is manufacturing. Mm-hmm. So we've prepared this kind of drawing because we think that the best way of kind of saying story and explaining what's going on is being transparent and explaining the process behind it, because it's not the same that we just say, hey, it's really complex, than actually explaining the complexity behind it and what's going on and what's going good and what's going wrong. So yeah, Manel is going to help me with this because he's actually the project manager, and he's the guy that is every day working and coordinating all this so everything here works properly.
This is like the general structure of our suppliers in the making of the golden prototype, and it will be the same structure with the same suppliers in the making of the final product. Well, this is us, Dygma. Okay, this is Dygma. Well, this is Luis from Dygma. This is one of our consultants, because as we don't have long experience manufacturing in China, we hired a group of engineers and consultants living in Shenzhen, in the same area we are manufacturing. So we collaborate with them. They help us in the communication with the factories, etc. And
just to add one thing, yes, even though they're consultants, for us it's really like they're our partners. It's like we are working next to each other. Like right now it's like Manel is coordinating everything from here, but actually these guys are the eyes and hands of Manel there in Shenzhen. They're taking the samples, they're sending videos, they are sending pictures, and Manel is having meetings with them basically on daily basis, right? Mm-hmm. So even though they're like an external consultant, it's basically part of our whole system of how we are going to create this product.
We are like partners. Anytime I go to China, we go together and do things together and that. And we also have our factory that, I mean, we have a very strong relationship with them, and we also talk every day. I mean, it's not like our partners talk with the factory and we talk with our partners. We have like groups and we talk all together. Okay? So basically our main supplier in China is the assembly factory owner, okay, the CEO of the assembly factory, but there are a lot of other factories, so I'm going to briefly explain each one. One of our main suppliers is the metal factory. We do a lot of pieces with them. We also have the bottom sticker factory, or the mylar factory, the piece in the bottom, the cable factory, we have different cables, anodizing factory for the final finishing of the metal pieces. We have the partners factory, and we also have the injection factory, the normal injection factory of one material, and also a double injection factory of 2 materials. Okay, so, and other small factories I'm not commenting here, but it's very small. And each factory is doing different pieces, and each piece has a relationship with other pieces. It's in the assembly with other pieces. So if one piece is wrong, we have problems with other pieces because it's not fitting properly. It's especially big problem in the golden prototype, okay? Because it's the first time we put all the pieces together from the different suppliers, so it's easy. There's a small dimensional difference in one piece affecting 2 other pieces, as I explained in the video I did previously about the golden sample. So, for example, we have the metal pins. The metal pins had a wrong dimension of 4 millimeters instead of 3.5 millimeters. This was affecting directly to the plastic joints from the injection factory. Why is it affecting? Because there's a hole in the plastic joint for the metal pin. Okay, and what happened? So we had the prototype, but we couldn't put the metal and the joint in the same prototype. So we removed this piece with okay, let's check the joint without this, but the magnet is inside of this piece. So we can check the metal joints with the magnets, and the feeling is absolutely different. So we have to wait and modify the metal pins, CNC it to bring it to the right dimension, and then we can do that. Other example, for example, is there's a lot of relationship between the top cover, for example, with the pan rest. It's affecting because it's assembly, but also with the base. Okay, the base is really complex, and maybe the dimensions, as it's a prototype, not a final product, the dilatation for the heating is a bit different, so it doesn't fit perfectly in the metal cover. So we need to mill it by hand and adjust it. So it takes time, and you have to send it back.
Okay, just to add on Manel, maybe you've noticed we just drawn this one because we just forgot to tell the electronic factory that it's actually one of the most important factories of all. So something that has happened is that in this process we're not only validating the golden sample, but also in some cases we're validating their processes. And actually what has happened with the electronics factory is that they are doing this prototype and they are doing by hand, when actually they are used to manufacturing everything with these automatic placing machines and all this, right? So we are asking them to do something that it's kind of out of what they are used to do. So what has happened is that we've sent them their designs, but when they've assembled it, it's not working. So what's the effect of the electronic not working? It has a direct impact on the bottom base and actually on the light. Exactly. So that the electronic is not working means that we can actually not check if the job that we've done with the plastic for the underglow is properly working.
Actually, it was okay from the dimensional point of view, so we could validate the metal, everything fit properly. Also, we could validate the switches and everything, and also we could validate the fitting of the base. The fitting was good, but it wasn't working, so the light didn't work. So we didn't have, we didn't check the light effect of the underglow. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And as you can see, like we could continue step by step, explaining how everything is connected to everything. Like the cable factory is connected. You need a connector that needs to go to the PCB. Exactly. The anodizing with the metal, the plastic.
Havel top view with the Havel plastic, exactly. With the anodizing factory.
Yeah, exactly. So basically everything is interconnected, and until every piece of the puzzle doesn't fit, then this won't be ready, and we won't go to the next step until this is not ready, because going into manufacturing phase without double checking that everything is correct is extremely risky. It can mean that we can invest hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then we have to go back and then reinvest this money. Basically, it's just too risky and too dangerous.
Yeah, and it takes time. Any modification takes time.
Yeah.
I mean, this piece is wrong, so you have to send it to the other factories. They have to modify it. They have to send it back. Maybe you have to anodize, or you have to finish. You have to mount again. 1 week lost, or 2 weeks lost, depends on. So it's taking much more time than expected.
Yeah, and actually in this example, it's a really silly thing. Like we send a file, but actually with this process, what happens is that we send multiple files to improve what we're doing, right? And they actually choose the one that was a bit longer. So now they have to, it's just modifying a little bit the metal, but this impacts all this and makes it be slower one more week. And this is the part that is the simplest of all. So there's a lot of chances to make things wrong. So just to round up our explanation, as you can see, there's a high level of complexity on this. And the thing is, like, we are in control of the process, but we're not in control of the amount of iterations that are going to happen. Like, we understand the steps that we need to go through, but we cannot control absolutely every variable, the execution of every variable, right? So, so of course, this is delaying our manufacturing process, as we've been explaining. And the thing is, like, I would love to give you a hard deadline. For example, I think, like, I would love to, let's say, I give you, we ship in November, but the things are not black or white in this case. And actually, I would like Manel to explain this, because he has a better view of this situation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, my opinion here, I would like also, like Luis, to say one accurate date, but in my opinion, the best thing is to approve the golden prototype, and then the I mean, after the golden prototype, the process is something much more technical. I mean, it's like manufacturing, I mean, making tooling, testing pieces, assembly, you know. So when we have the golden prototype approved the next weeks, I hope, we can prepare this diagram, this Gantt diagram, and share it with you. Then we will all see the day we should have the product. But if we say today November or September, or we say January,
October, or
it, for me it doesn't make sense, because I'm not sure when are we going to finish this loop. I can't be sure.
Yeah, and the base of this is that our estimations were based on what the experts around us told us, partially, right? And what happens is that even though you prepare something so it works, we design it and we prototype it and whatever in this amount of time, there's mistakes or there's issues that we cannot expect, because we don't even know that this can happen, right? Until it happens, and then we fix it and when we move on. So right now, even though we would love to give a hard date, the thing is, like, we first need to solve this, and actually we're working non-stop on solving this. As Manel said it, this should be fixed in the following weeks. And then we will give you kind of this timeline with the next steps, so you know exactly when we will be able to manufacture the product, how long it will take, and when we will be able to ship it.
Yeah, I think it's the best.
Okay, so I hope that now it's a bit more clear, you have more context on what's going on, and I'm sorry that we are late. And thank you so much for being patient, and thank you for supporting us. And of course, we will totally understand that you are upset with this, because it's a very important reason to be upset by. But we will continue working really hard to deliver a as high quality product as we can imagine. So yeah, thank you, and talk to you soon.
Thanks.